Okay. Hello, welcome to the Red Zone. My name is Katie Harris. If you're watching the recording, I'm an independent sales director with Mary Kay, and we are going to share tonight about, and I have to take these off, it drives me bananas. We're going to share tonight about the Davis area over in Kansas City fall advance that was just this last weekend. So it was October 17th and 18th. Today's the 18th. 15th and 16th. I'm sorry. 15th and 16th. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of set the stage for you guys, but then I'm going to open it up to Dolores, to Annette, to Nancy, to Trista, and Jana. I don't know if you want to share or not, but I will open it up if you guys would like to share. And then I'm going to share a couple of really big nuggets that I really enjoyed. So just to kind of set the stage, have you ever had an experience? This is a rhetorical question, but just to think about it. Have you ever had an experience where you felt like so many things were happening in your life and you were supposed to go somewhere, like you were supposed to leave that day or the next day, and the dog is sick and your kid is bleeding, and there's just all these things that are happening and that are needing your attention, and but you have this really important thing that you want to go to, and it's still important, like it's still a priority, right? Like you still want to go, and so you take care of what you need to take care of. You might delegate some things and you still show up, but you know that this event, in your mind, you're like, this event's going to be really good because there are so many obstacles that I had to see through or push through to be here. And so that's kind of what happened for me. And I'm sure maybe possibly for others that were there this weekend, maybe even some ladies that are on the call tonight. Can anybody relate to that? So Fall Advance took place at the Hilton Airport Hotel, right next to the Kansas City Airport. And there were about, gosh, I don't even know, probably 200 to 300 possibly ladies in attendance, in and out throughout the weekend. We showed up on Friday and went to a director's meeting, and Jana and I did. We were able to do that. I look glamorous. Okay, that is really kind of you, Annette, because I told Rosie I wasn't going to wear a lot of makeup because I'm having an allergy attack. But thank you so much for affirming me. I digress. So we went to the director's meeting, and you guys, if you have a desire in your heart to move into leadership, I just want to encourage you that these different things that we get to do as directors, like they are so, it's going to sound cliche, I feel like, or something funny, but they are so incredible, and they are set apart from things that you will receive as a consultant. They are not necessarily better. It's different. It's at a different level. And you get to be around girlfriends that are like-minded, that are genuine, that are, achievers, that will challenge you, that will love on you. And it was so awesome to be in people's space, like to actually be with people and to see people and to talk to people and that you haven't seen in a while. And maybe you've gone to an event, but you really haven't seen this one person or these, this group of women or what have you, or maybe you're meeting new people that you've never met before. So that was all happening. And so I just wanted to say that, just to kind of set it up, is with what Jill Davis does is she just brings us together. She always starts it off with keeping our eyes on Christ. So if you share faith in Jesus, you are welcome at my table. You are welcome at my table if you do not. But I will talk a little bit about that tonight. And so you're welcome at this table, I should say. But she always starts it off that way, you guys. She keeps our eyes turned to him, and she's always challenging all of us, consultants, directors, everywhere in between, to be better, to do better, to be intentional, and that we can always be learning and growing. One of the biggest things that I took away from when Jill Davis trained on Saturday morning was, those people in your life who are just totally okay with where they're at, like totally good with what they're doing, with where they're at in life. and we can love them 100% where they are at, right? But I also want to encourage you guys to know that growth doesn't have an age number. Like, you don't stop growing when you turn 26. Even though your brain has hit full development, that doesn't mean that you have to stop growing intellectually, mentally, emotionally, physically, obviously. And so I loved that she talked about that, how we can have limiting beliefs about ourselves and our abilities, but we can also choose to ignore those and push those out and fill our cup and grow our mind, body, and spirit. So um, I think I'll go ahead and share, and then I'll just open it up to other ladies. Okay. So one of the things that I want to share about Julia Mundy. Julia Mundy was the visiting national sales director. I believe she's originally from Texas, but she now lives in Louisiana, and made the move in the last 2 years, during the pandemic and everything. I know that she went through some personal things, as did most of us, right, during 2020 and of course in 2021. But she started out with us doing a field trip exercise. Okay. And this was so powerful, you guys. So if you just imagine with me here in your brain, she said, okay, now I know that you guys want to be comfortable and you want to sit back and you want to enjoy this and all these things. You want to take your notes, maybe sleep. But what we're going to do is we're going to get up and we're going to walk around. So she literally led us outside of our conference room that we were meeting in, had us walk around the corner, and just kind of take, like, I don't know, like a couple hundred feet, little walk. Okay. And she said, okay, we're going to stay right here. And I want you guys to imagine all of your emotional baggage. Okay. Just take your limiting beliefs, your negative thoughts, your past missed goals, the things that your mind reverts back to when you're like, I'm going to go for this. But then your mind's like, oh no, don't forget about what happened at this time. And that's probably going to happen again. All those things, that baggage that we hold on to, those of us who've been in Mary Kay a long time, those of us who've been in Mary Kay for 2 seconds, I'm sure all of us can relate to that, right? So she had us physically take it and put it in like a bag and lean down and set it at our feet and said, okay, take it all off and take as long as you need to take it all off. And then she said, let's go back to the room, and you can either come back and get it or you can leave it there forever. It is up to you. And that was, I mean, when I say it out loud, it seems like, okay, great, she had to do this little exercise, but it was so powerful, you guys, because it caused you to think about what that baggage is. Because although it comes up in our mind, do we choose to think about it, or does it just pop up at the most inconvenient, unwelcome times, right? And so it caused me, I got a little bit emotional, because when you start to go down that road and take that exercise seriously, which I was all in this weekend, I was like, I'm taking all this, I'm soaking it all up, I'm really excited. And so I got emotional because there are things that I've missed 100%. You guys have seen me miss goals. You've seen our unit miss goals, right? And there are limiting beliefs that will stem from that and other things. And so just to take that weight off of your shoulders, physically put it down, and then go back into that room to receive training and teaching from her was, blew my mind. Okay, so we go back into the room, we sit down, and she starts off by saying, let's talk about goals. Let's talk about where we're going. Let's talk about goals. What goals do you have what goals do you have this month? Or not this month, this seminar year. And she's like, have you taken your goal poster down? It's September, October. This is, the 4th month of the seminar year, and maybe you're not on track. So have you already taken that goal poster down? Have you already decided, I'm not going to do it anymore? We're not where we need to be. So may as well just throw in the towel. And then she said, we've all done it. She's like, I've done it too. But do you think that Mary Kay Ash did that? Do you think that she took her goal posters down the 4th month of the seminar year? No, absolutely not. She did not. And do you know how much belief she had in us and her spirit still has in us today as the Salesforce members? She has so much belief in us, you guys, and so many of those who are carrying on her legacy know that we can do these things, because this business is so much mental. So much mental. So much mental and not a whole lot of skill. You know, we put product on people's faces. We tell them to wash it off. We tell them to put more product on their faces. You know, that's what we do, right? The gist of what we do. We love on women. We encourage women. We help to empower women, right? But we have to be in that mindset as well. So then she's talking about, and this is where it really hit me, you guys. Whew, if you ever struggle with temptation, with distraction, with things that are near and dear to your heart that you're like, gosh, I would much rather snuggle my grandkids or watch that soapy TV show that is so stinking addictive, or I would much rather jog 5 miles, which it's never been a thing for me, but I know for some of you it might be, and that is so good for you. I'm so glad that that is a thing for you. But temptation is huge in this business. At least it has been for me, because you have your own business. You're an entrepreneur. You own your own business, essentially, right? You're your own boss. And so that means that you get to set your hours. That means that you're in control of your schedule. That means that you get to work when you want to work, when you have chosen to work. And then the other time that you have slated is your time, right? And so Julia Mundy said, now let's talk about, go back to those goal posters. Do you think that Satan has a goal poster up that says, my goal is to steal, kill, and destroy? And that's not going down. And he's not stopping, and he's not going away, because the temptations that come to you, the ones that come to you in the form of things that you love, things that bring you joy. But when you, who has, a disciplined heart and a disciplined mind, when I'm committed to this goal, I'm committed to my business, I know I should be doing this, but this looks so good over here. Are you going to stay committed to that? Are you going to be loyal to that? And so she said, don't forget about the enemy who is out there. He is real, and he comes like a thief in the night, right? Just like a thief in the night. That really hit home for me. I had talked to Jana about it previously in the week, and it really struck a big light bulb for me. So anyways, moving on. Julia was monumental for me. And we, Jana walked us in and sat us right in the front row, ladies, right in the front row. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, we're here for this. Hi, Nicole. And so we were right there with her, ladies, and we were able to receive all that good stuff. And there were emotions, there were tears. I mean, Jana got up there, and maybe she'll share it with you, but Jana got up there and was an example of how to have a healthy relationship with money. Julia Mundy talked about that, and how to see money differently than a burden or something that we are tied down by, but to see it as something that we enjoy, but also can have limits with it as well, something that blesses us, because we are here on this earth to further his kingdom. I'm a big believer in that. And I know a lot of us may have whatever relationship we have with money, right? But I'm really glad that Julia shed light on the fact that you can have a healthy relationship with money and still be blessed by money. You can do both of those things. And if you are not either one of those things, you can get there. You absolutely can get there. And you can even get there with your Mary Kay business. So that was, yes, respect money and have a healthy relationship with it. Yeah. It was pretty awesome. Okay, so those are my big takeaways from Julia, and I just want to touch a little bit on Susan McCoy training, because guys, I was only able to be there from Friday during the day into Saturday before lunch. I had to leave right before lunch. So I would love it if other ladies shared about the general session on Saturday afternoon if you have any takeaways. But Susan McCoy trained sales directors, and she talked a lot about shifting and how shifting happens, which all of us have gone through shifts these past 18, 20 months. And she was talking about how January 2020 she was on the leadership trip, and how she only had so much in production. She only had so much as far as, new team members goes. And these were her goals, and how in the matter through a pandemic and in the matter of 20 months, she has now had 2 offspring sales directors who were doing, and they will tell you, and they actually piped up and said we were doing nothing at that point in time, like March 2020, we were doing nothing. And within 20 months, they have combined earned, I believe, 3 or 4 cars, Mary Kay cars. Like a gal named Kayla Yeager. She was #1 in in sales directors in the area for unit production. Am I correct on that, Jana? I believe that's what it was.
I don't think it was not unit. She wasn't #1 in unit production. It was unit growth.
Okay, unit growth. Thank you. And she just finished her Equinox, and she had earned her car, like her Malibu, just a couple months before that. But she also has already finished Princess Court of Sales, you guys. That's what really hit me. She's already finished Princess Court of Sales, and it is October of the seminar year. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. This girl has got goals. She wants to be in a pink Cadillac by the end of the seminar year. And I think that she's definitely going to get there. So having that vision is what Susan McCoy was talking about. Having the vision, knowing that shifting and pivoting is really what we do. And I have to tell you something that was super, super fun and inspiring for me. Jana and I shared a hotel room with Nicole Vaughn, who is a top sales director in Kansas City, and her DIQ named Susan. And Jana and I had been talking about being a train, like a pink train, okay? And how I am the engineer of this pink train, and I am going to continue to move forward because I can't stop. I'm a train, I'm a locomotive. I have this guard on the front, so I'm going to push negative thoughts, I'm going to push limiting beliefs to the side, and I'm going to keep plowing forward and hit my goals and my dreams because I'm going to keep going. That's the biggest thing, you guys. When you stop, you're giving up. But when you continue to go, whatever pace that looks like for you in this season of life, for me and for my goals, like I'm running, like I'm going, like I'm working, right? But it doesn't look like that for everybody. But make sure you continue to move forward. Continue to put one step in front of the other. Continue to set goals, monthly goals, weekly goals, whatever accountability you need from that. Make sure you talk to your sales director about, because we are more than happy to talk to you about accountability and helping you achieve your goals and your dreams. Okay. So just imagine me, I'm going to get like a pink train shirt and like a hat. I'm going to wear it every Monday. Probably not, but that would be funny. Right. But what you see, you start to believe, and what you speak starts to happen. What you speak about, you bring about. Right. And so I was so blessed and thankful to be in the space of these amazing ladies who were able to be there with us. I'm so glad that you guys came, but I'm also so thankful for the other ladies that I got to see that I hadn't seen in 20 months or more, and ladies that I'd never met before. And just to be able to clap for people who are achieving these amazing goals and things during a crazy world that we live in right now, I was humbled, and I was so set on fire. So I'm so thankful that I got to go. And I just want to open it up to Dolores, Trista, Annette, Nancy, Jana, whoever would like to share about their experience. Don't all rush and go first.
Let's start with Dolores.
All right. We had a really cool thing. I went because of, being around there a couple of hot minutes. I went in with the red jacket training with Trista that they had on Saturday, and the one Trista had asked me on the way home. She says, "Well, what did you get out of the training?" I was like, nothing. There wasn't anything that had initially jumped out at me. But as her and I talked on the way home, there were some things, she got me to thinking a little bit more and reflecting on what was there as to what I got. And one of the first things that Christy Campbell talked about was there's a bridge between belief and knowing. And it's if I think I can, the right place, the right time, then everything unfolds in the right place and right time. And there's the pieces that's holding this up is faith and trust. And it boils down to your mind and your heart are right. I mean, that's just very compact with everything she said. That's just a very brief hit on that. Another thing was not to do more, but to be more. So that, you know, the things that you're doing, you are creating and doing more things that way, as opposed to just doing busy work. You're impacting with what you're doing. And if you do it enough, it'll come. It's that thing we talk about. That's why we do the affirmations every time. I know sometimes some of us feel pretty silly, maybe sitting there doing the affirmations and talking, as you're like, oh, this is so silly. But what we talk about is, as you speak it, you hear it. And your mind doesn't know any different as long as you're telling it that. And then it'll start to happen. You'll start doing things. You don't know why you're doing them, but your mind is going to make you achieve what you tell it to do. And that ties into see it, know it. And I think one of the things that really, really struck me, and I think what got me going and thinking about all these things is, even at that, as Katie said, everything was started off with talking about a prayer and God and being thankful for what we had and what we're doing. And it just was ironic. The sermon Sunday morning at church was worthy ambition versus unworthy ambition. And it boils down to totally following God's will. And in that, your true success in life is service and service to others. And that goes right back to what was said at the start of everything, was that the things that we're doing, that we're blessing other women, we don't know how we've impacted their lives, and gave them an opportunity to feel good about themselves, to maybe make that next step up. You just don't know. And so you keep doing the best you can, you do, be positive, and in the service to others. And I think that's what I found for me is my reason. Because when I think about things, it's not about me. I do not think in terms of, well, what's in this for Dolores, why would I go talk to Margaret? Because, I'm not getting anything out of, I'm not getting, what I think I want to get. So I'm not going to talk to her. No, it's about what you can do to help someone else. And it impacts and it comes back to you ever so much. And then there was Saturday afternoon, there was a couple nifty things on legal, which I realized after 5 years, I have to change my VIP group's name because I have Mary Kay in it, and we cannot do that legally because my VIP group is Dolores's Mary Kay VIP Silver Tigers. I got to take the Mary Kay out of it. I cannot use that in there. You can't use the initials and you can't use the name, which after 5 years, I didn't know that. So minor quick detail I learned on that one. The other big thing was we had a gal there that was an esthetician. I think I said that right. And she talked about using some of the products and emphasized the skin analyzer. Voluform's your best friend ever. And tip for the day, and I'll finish up with that, is that like when you do the biocellular mask and you got that juice out of there, take that juice and use your sonic brush and work it up under your neck to help with the chicken gizzard here. And she says that's the same effect as what they do when you go in for a full facial, is they press and they work all that skin up. So that's just something simple you can do, you can talk to your ladies about. So I think that covers all my points I can think of that's hot about. So on to the next person. Hopefully I haven't dogged everything out there for everybody, but
That's,
see, now that's a negative thing, saying dogged everything out. No,
no,
I've shared, positive, happy. What you
great
got?
job. Great job. Let's go to Nancy next.
Okay. I went to on Saturday morning, I went to the groups for seasoned consultants. There was 4 different classes that I went to. And the first one that I went to was with a lady named Terry Thole. And her class was on customer service. And I wrote down a couple of things that really stuck out to me. There's so many different things we can do with customer service, but really she was trying to encourage us to, there's little things that we don't think of when it comes to customer service. Like you all do the little cute packaging, you all do the callbacks to make sure they're liking their product and blah, blah, blah. But here's just a couple really simple little things that she told me that I had not been doing, and I was excited to learn. And they're just so easy and so simple. She talked about your own voice message on your phone. Use it. Like I know Jana does, because I've tried to call Jana before and I will get her voice message. And like right now, I think mine just says, "Hi, you've reached the voicemail of Nancy. I'm unable to answer my phone right now. You know what to do," or something like that. So I need to change it and say, "Hello, hello. My name is Nancy Fairchild, and my name is Nancy Fairchild, independent beauty consultant with Mary Kay Cosmetics, and I'm unable to answer my phone right now." So just that little simple step is something, because you don't know if people are gonna try to call you and you're not getting the call, but it might be somebody new on your client list that's never called you before, and they might be wondering, do I have the right person? Well, yeah, by changing that, she will. Okay, I'm going to just try to go through this stuff fast. Another thing that she said is if you're not labeling your product, you must, because when you sell somebody a skincare set, and she was like, you're going to run out of it at different times. You're probably not going to need the cleanser as soon as you're going to need a moisturizer, a day moisturizer, if you're using it in the morning and at night, so by putting those little labels on each bottle of your products, when your customer's going like this on her bottle, she's going to see your name right there, and she's going to know your phone number, and she's going to give you a call back and tell you, "Hey, I'm really getting low on this. Go ahead and set me up for a reorder on that." Okay, another one that I liked from her was the preferred customer program. And I learned actually a couple things from 2 different classes about that. But she said, okay, we all get a notice as to when they're going to start being mailed. And her advice was to call the customers before they get their next catalog, like a week before, and say, "Hey, I'm so excited you're going to be getting your new catalog in the mail in about a week. I'm going to give you a call in about 10 days and chat with you." That way they know that they're getting it. She gave a one time she missed doing the PCP, getting your customers enrolled to get the catalogs. And she said she had people calling her that were actually kind of upset with her because they didn't get their catalog, so that is a really important thing to do. And I like that idea because I've never done that, and I'm going to try that this next time. Another thing she said is get their birthdays or special dates in their life and give them a call when those days are coming up. Like, "Hey, Jan, I know you got a birthday coming up next week. I would just want to remind you that you get to select an item at 15% off," or whatever you want to do for your birthday people. And then another thing that I did do, because I knew that bless you, I knew that the powder foundations are going to be discontinued, and they're going to be bringing in a new one. Well, I have a lady that strictly loves the powder foundation. So after Jana told me that, I contacted her and said, hey, I found out that they're going to be discontinuing that product that you like. I know they're coming back with a new one, but would you like to wait for the old one or the new one to come out, or do you want me to go ahead and order you a couple? And she goes, yes, order me 3 of those. So I made a good sale in just by using what our knowledge is for discontinued products. Okay. The other class I went to was called A Sustainable Business with Jen Baus, I think. I liked her class a lot. And it was, she started out with a point A to point B. And she put these cones in the aisle and selected 3 different volunteers to go from the back of the front of the room where we were to the back of the room, point A to point B. And so all the girls kind of did it walking carefully in between the cones. And then the third girl did it different. She decided to run through the cones, and she didn't step every step in the middle of them. And so she said, it's okay to take a different path sometimes. And when I looked at that for myself, when I really thought about it, I thought, okay, ever since I started in February, I've only done Facebook parties and a few personal appointments with just one lady there. I have not done any live parties. And so I thought, okay, that's what I think this is telling me to do today. I love doing the Facebook parties, but maybe I need to try something new and get some in-person parties going. So that's what I took away for myself from that. And I think that's just, each one of these classes is probably going to hit each person in a different way. And you're going to think about it as to what you need to do for your own business. And one thing she said that I did write down is nothing changes till the pain of remaining the same is greater than the pain of change. And I really liked that, because I thought, you know what, that the whole weekend was fabulous. It was so inspiring. I learned so many things. The esthetician that Rosie talked about was amazing. And I just think that anytime we get a chance to go to these, we need to. Another thing back to my sustainable business class was, she said, the main thing is bookings that keep our business sustainable. And if we don't have a script as to what to say when we contact people, we're supposed to get with our sales directors, because they will help us with that. You need to make a list of people and call it Frank. Your new list of people is called Frank. F equals friends, R equals relatives, A equals acquaintances, N equals neighbors, and K equals your kids' friends' parents. And then, those were great ideas to me. And it really was a lot of fun. I had the pleasure of rooming with Miss Annette Klein. And then when we got back to Onega, she took me into her little place where she has all her Mary Kay set up, you guys. And it is fabulous. I'm so jealous. She has it so cute and just so perfect. And I know she's just going to be a rock star soon, but that's all I have to say.
Thank you for sharing, Nancy. Hey, I hate to do this, but we're going to have to limit the next couple people to like 4 minutes apiece, because
Sorry.
it's late. It's okay, ladies. I'm just going to tell you one thing, and then you'll hear more from me next Sunday night on the Boss Babes call, because we're actually going to talk about this. But I want you to remember that when you're running your you're the pink locomotive engineer, or you are the pink locomotive, you are going to have people get on your train and get off your train, your customers and your team members. They're going to get on and they're going to get off, and that's okay. And they might come back, and then they might not come back, and that's okay. That doesn't stop your train from moving forward. And trust in the Lord. If it's his plan and if he says it's going to happen, who are you to doubt it? Do the work, do the work, do the work, and he'll bring the harvest. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and go with Annette.
I will be quick.
You're good.
I wrote some notes while the rest of you guys were talking. I'm into those things, the letters, that mean things. The path was praise and thank him. And ego was edge God out. So I am definitely don't have an ego. That I learned again. Janet knows how I do. I go talk to people anywhere and everywhere. And at breakfast at our hotel, I talked to two ladies and commented on this one lady's purse, and they were going to the K-State game. So we connected, and I gave them both cards before I rushed out so I wouldn't be late to the thing. And so I found out I have no problem meeting people or talking to people. I just have to get my words down. And Nicole had a wonderful line. She just said, I need to borrow your face. And I can say that, I think, to anybody. I said that to a lady after church on Sunday. And her daughter is an esthetician. So she gets all of her stuff from her. So, but anyway, it was good. And I totally enjoyed it. And Nancy and I swapped products back and forth and opinions. And it was just wonderful. And I can't believe how nice everybody is to me, just being a newbie person. Everybody was so kind and so nice. And Julia was excellent. And just everybody. And like I said, I was just a newbie and didn't know anything and didn't know anybody. And they treated me like I was just one of them. So that really made me feel good.
That is awesome, Annette. Annette,
And
thank
that's
you
all
so
I had
much.
to say.
You have such a golden heart. And so thank you so much for sharing those things. I wrote down the path too from Susan McCoy. So I thought that was really good. All right. There's Miss Trista.
All right, real quick. In every woman lives a queen. She is smart, feminine, powerful, spiritual, generous, visible, prosperous, and usually has a great sense of humor. Though she enjoys and requires great material wealth, she doesn't bow to it, nor does she lord it over others. Instead, she lives a life worthy of her calling. Being a queen is about becoming the best version of yourself. A queen never denies her ability or worth. She is confident. She doesn't settle for crumbs or scrape by on the bare minimum. She makes excellent decisions quickly and easily. Her boundaries are intact, and she's appropriately mindful of the boundaries of others. She doesn't ask for permission. She gives it to herself in spades. And most importantly, at the center of a queen's life is her spiritual connection. A queen's true power comes from her divine source. And that's why a queen never fails to prioritize her time with spirit and time with herself. And I got this book, Julia Mundy recommended it, and it's called The Audacity to be Queen by Gina DeVee. And it looks like this. And I ordered it. I immediately ordered it when she had mentioned it. And when I decided to go to Fall Advance, the specific prayer was that God would just show me the areas that I needed to have a breakthrough through. And of course, the theme was breakthrough and be brave, right? The whole theme of the whole weekend. And there's so much I could share and so much I could talk about. The directors were amazing, phenomenal. The training was just exactly what I needed to hear. But everything that I have doubted, God undoubted it for me. Like he just spoke truth into my disbelief in myself. I can't tell you how important it is to speak truth to yourself. And I learned that this weekend. I'm so good at speaking truth into other people and encouraging other people and lifting people up. But I didn't realize how much I didn't believe in myself. Like, it's easy to do things for others because it's helpful and it's exciting and great things are happening. But when you sit there and you say, I am beautiful, I am powerful, I am going to do mighty things for our Lord and Savior, and receive that, the receiving of your words, the receiving of blessing, the receiving of what God has for us, not just in this company, but life, but the opportunity that God has given us to be a part of this company and to just, like Katie is talking about, just ride that train and just push through and push through. And so what I got through is my breakthrough is that I have a fear of failure and success, and that I'm not going to have that fear anymore. And I'm going to tell myself every day that you are going to fail, but be successful in that failure because you have God on your side and you are going to get through that. And I'm going to look into the mirror every morning and say, you are worth so much more than you could ever imagine because you have a Father who loves you. And remembering that and believing that, because one of the things that Julie Mundy said is they are praying for us to ask them. There are women praying that God would bring somebody into their life to help them. And we are those women. We are there to help them with the opportunity, with being better people. And I left this weekend feeling like I was at like a women's retreat conference. Like, this is how amazing these seminars are, these trainings are, these women who have given their life to the Lord, who have been through crap, who have been through what I've been through and what you have been through. And they have figured it out, and they're not perfect, and they're flawed, and they're honest about it, and they're real with you. But oh my gosh, everything that happened this weekend God was like, yep. I mean, I sat across the freaking table from Susan, who's a kindergarten teacher going into DIQ. Hello. Like, just everything was amazing. I could just keep talking. I know we need to get off here, but the trainings were phenomenal. And it's just like, just remembering, like, you have directors that are here for you, the accountability is there, and it's just what are you going to put into it? Like, and you can do it. Like, you can make it happen. And so anyway, I have lots more I can share because I have like an entire notebook full of notes, but I finally have the breakthrough that I was looking for, and the aha, like what was keeping me from just saying, okay. And it's my fear of failure and my fear of success, and just letting God be in ultimate control, no matter what happens, no matter if I fail and no matter when I succeed, and knowing that that success is just around the corner. So anyways, I loved it. I love you ladies. We missed you, Rosie. I thought about you. I thought about you all weekend, and just know that you were very, very much missed. And it's, we're going, ladies, we're going somewhere. We're all going somewhere. And like, it's up to us. Like, it is our choice. You either are going to do it or you're not going to do it. Just like I tell my kindergartners, you can do this or you can do this. It's one or the other. So you want to grow, work your business. You want to stay where you're at, don't work your business. So anyway, that's all.
Amazing. Fantastic.
is
Yeah, that was
awesome,
awesome, Trista. Thank you for sharing. And all of you, really, thank you so much for sharing. As you can see, and as you can see in the comments, if you guys are able to read through, I mean, it's just when we say to go and when we encourage you to go, and there's reasons behind that. There's so much more behind that too. So the next event that comes up, I just really, really, really impress upon you to remember how you feel right now and the things that maybe the Lord has put on your own heart, and just think about attending for sure.
I have one
Rosie,
more
will you
thing. Can I say one more thing just really quick? I'm so sorry.
you
guys
go,
understand?
girl, do
Because
it.
this is really another thing I wanted to say is, so like our excuses, and what are our excuses? Like, we are so good at saying, oh, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this, right? We all do. I'm a kindergarten teacher. I'm a mom. I'm a military wife. I have church stuff. I have all these commitments, right? Excuses. My biggest excuse was my family. My family was my excuse. And I was using them to not do Mary Kay because I was afraid of taking from them, stealing from my children, stealing from my husband. But they're my priority. You know what I mean? Like, I want to give them so much. I want to share with them so much. And so my children are my priority. And because I work my business and I have these goals, like they're my priority now and no longer my excuse. So I encourage you, like, what is your excuse and why is it really your excuse? And think about it that way. So anyway, that was powerful for me as a mom and all that. Anyway, I just needed to share that.
Thank you for sharing, my dear. Thank you for sharing. All right, Rosie Kane, will you spin that spinner wheel?
Okay, I just want to add real fast to what you said, Trista, and then I'll spin, is that I learned, especially in DIQ, that sometimes you have to give up things. Not everything, but sometimes you might have to give up something so that you can have something better later on, and that's what I learned, and it's right. They were right. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and spin. Dolores. Dolores, you are lucky. You better go buy a lottery ticket. Okay, Dolores. So next week we might do something different. You never know. If we do, I'll let you know. We're talking about it.
Miss Rosie,
Yes.
I just wanted to let everybody know I won't get to be on next Monday night